Hi there, I'm Steve Nygren, founder of Serenbe. You know, for a lot of Americans, life just isn't working the way it should. We're more stressed, anxious, and disconnected than ever. Many people feel left behind by the economy, let down by institutions they once trusted, and overwhelmed by the scale of environmental challenges. Much of this comes down to something simple: where and how we live. When we reinvest in our communities and rethink the way we build and connect with one another, we open the door to healthier, more meaningful lives, not just for ourselves, but for the future generations. That's what my book, Start in Your Own Backyard, Transforming Where You Live with Radical Common Sense, is about. It offers a practical, hopeful roadmap for creating places where people of all ages can thrive, where everyday life is infused with beauty, purpose, and connection. The book is here to spark ideas, offer guidance, and remind you that big change really can start small. Start in Your Own Backyard is available now wherever you buy books. Sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is simply begin right where we are.
On this episode of Serenbe Stories, we're joined by Dr. Mary Alice Mina, a dermatologist and entrepreneur whose connection to Serenbe grew slowly. What began as an occasional weekend getaway from Midtown Atlanta with her family eventually turned into something more permanent. After years of building a successful, procedure-focused dermatology practice in the city, Mary Alice found herself ready for a different kind of work, one that aligned more closely with her evolving philosophy of care and the pace of life she experienced on her Serenbe visits. That shift led her to open a new, more intimate practice in Serenbe, the Skin Reel. It's designed around time, attention, and a broader view of skin health. Her approach at the Skin Reel creates space for deeper conversations about the full spectrum of skincare, from lifestyle and stress to environment, aging, and personal goals. It's dermatology reimagined as both science and relationship. Practical, personalized, and based on the idea that how we care for ourselves is inseparable from how we live. In this conversation, Steve Nygren and I sit down with Mary Alice to explore the path that brought her here, the philosophy behind her new practice, and how Serenbe itself shapes the way she thinks about health and aging. We also get into the realities behind skincare trends, what actually matters when it comes to caring for your skin, and why sometimes the most effective solutions have less to do with products and more to do with how we move through the world.
One of the things I love about Serenbe is my kids can run around. We come down here, I give them their green light cards, they get on their bikes, and they just tattoo the place and have fun, and I don't worry about where they are. Yeah. They could go to the pool. So I'm looking forward to letting them have some free time. They're going to sleepaway camp, but they said, Mom, don't put us in camps every week. We want to just be free.
Mary Alice, welcome to Serenbe Stories. How are you?
Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
And we've got
We're
Steve.
looking forward to the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you guys have a lot in common, starting with you just booked an appointment with
I did.
Mary Alice.
Did you know that?
No, I did not. I'm looking forward to it.
I had not put together even this, and I just was looking at all the appointments coming up summer. I've got a little block, and I said, I just sent my assistant, like yesterday or the day before, here are the appointments you need. And it was one of them, move all my records.
Amazing. I love it.
Well,
I look forward to that.
I know. Now we can walk to a dermatologist. So the first thing we always ask everybody is, what is your Serenbe story? How did you find us, and how did you move here? In many ways.
Yes. Yeah. I get this question a lot when people are like, wait, what are you doing?
Where are you going?
Where? And so I moved to Atlanta 2012 to do my fellowship, and I would kind of hear people talk about Serenbe. And my husband and I went down, I think after having one of our kids for a weekend getaway, no kids. And we stayed at the inn and we really loved it. We were like, I'm not sure what this community is, but I kind of like it. And then we'd kind of come back annually for a little getaway. We'd bring the kids, bring the bikes, all that. And it just became a place we really enjoyed going to get away from the city. We live in Midtown, which we also love, but this was a nice retreat. And then we started looking at buying property here, and the real estate agent kept telling us, well, start a derm practice here. We really need derm. We want derm. And the timing was never right until about a year ago. And then I thought, you know what? I am ready. And that's how we ended up here.
Okay, I love it.
And where do you live in Midtown?
In Ansley Park.
Where?
On Westminster Drive.
So we lived on 17th Street before
I
coming
know,
down here.
I've heard,
you're all very close. It's that similarity between Ansley and here. The people that like that, like
well,
this.
The walkability and the arts and the connection to
Exactly.
nature. You've got the park right there and the gardens. It's amazing.
And how old are your kids?
So they are now 5th and 6th grade. And actually, my son was touring Tara today. So
Oh, look at you. You're going
so
all in.
I haven't gotten the report yet.
Okay, that's exciting. Where are they at school right now?
So my daughter goes to Atlanta International School, and my son's at the Howard School.
Oh, perfect. Okay, great.
So you see, it was through the eyes of our children that we ended up leaving Ansley.
Yeah.
I thought we would never leave Ansley. I mean, we'd planted gardens for the girls to be married in.
Oh, wow. You were committed.
we were committed. And then it just became obvious because this is where everyone was inspired.
Yeah. Yeah,
So.
it's definitely a magical place.
Yeah.
Well, do you know Dr. Kate Edwards? Have you talked to Dr. Kate, the physical therapist on the
I
third
have
floor of our model?
not. No.
I mean, she's the same thing.
Really?
She came down like, this doesn't make any sense. My main practice is in Buckhead. And now, of course, she lives here, and this is the only place you can see her.
That's so funny. I know, people ask me, like, well, what are your plans? I'm like, you know what? I don't know. I'm just going to kind of see what happens.
That's the best way to do it. Just roll with what happens.
Yeah. So you said you came to do your fellowship here. Where were you guys before?
So we were in Boston,
where
I was doing my residency. And I met my husband in New York City. And he had never lived south of New York City. So it was funny. He's like, we're going where? I'm like, we're going to Atlanta for a year. And we thought for sure we'd head straight back to Boston or New York. And we really ended up loving Atlanta. So now I've lived here longer than anywhere else in my life.
Isn't it wild? Yeah. We've had the same thing. Like where half of our lives are now have been in Atlanta, which we can't quite wrap our heads around.
No, it happens. It's the sticking power.
No, it's such a great city. I do think that the Midtown Serenbe is kind of, if you can pull it off, is sort of the best of both worlds.
Well, I did just get self-driving in my car, and that does make the drive much more palatable.
Yes, definitely. I can set it and forget it a little bit.
Exactly.
So tell us about the Skin Reel. You said you have a practice in Sandy Springs. It sounds like you sort of fell in love with Serenbe, and it is something that happens. People have businesses and they're like, well, maybe I'll try it out here. Soberish is another great example. She started out in Kirkwood. So tell us about your practice, what you offer, and a little bit about your philosophy.
Yeah. So, well, first of all, in 2012 or 2013, I finished my fellowship. I met my now business partner at that practice, and it was just Mohs surgery, skin cancer surgery. We were a referral practice. And over the last 12, 13 years, we've kind of iterated a little bit. The landscape has changed. And so now we're still pretty heavily procedurally oriented, but we now also have a PA for general derm and things like that. But it's an insurance-based practice. It's heavy surgery procedures, very, very busy, hard to get in. I think it's an amazing practice. We have, a great time, but I was missing getting to spend more time with my patients. I'm in my mid 40s, and a lot of my friends were asking me what's happening? Why am I changing? Why is my neck looking like this now? Why am I, what's going on?
That's why we're not on video right now.
So I felt like a lot of people had questions, and I just wasn't able to answer them the way I wanted to with the current model. And so I thought there's got to be a better way. And I had been podcasting for a while, the Skin Reel podcast, and I thought I'm going to create a practice that's a little more in alignment with that, where I can take my time. I don't have constraints of insurance barriers and hoops to jump through, and can really offer kind of the full spectrum of skin health. And I think that includes, whether that includes aesthetics, cosmetics, how that looks is going to be different for everyone. But just offering kind of bread and butter dermatology and, and ways to age the way you want to age and have a healthful skin span.
Which I love, because I think that sort of the thing, I'm staring at Steve right now, but as women, we, not that men aren't as concerned, but I think it's like, you know what? We should have everything on the table that we want. And if we want to do something, we should do something. And if you don't, you don't. And I just think having the grace to not be judgmental about other people's choices.
Right.
And you just never know. In 10 years, you may want to do something that you think you don't want to do now. And I think to have those resources are super cool. So tell us a little bit more. Are you doing some laser stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I tried to have a little bit of, where I could take care of the most common skin concerns that people have.
Mm-hmm.
So a big one is like texture, laxity. So I have a CO2 laser as well as a non-ablative laser that can help with tightening.
Mm-hmm.
It can also help prevent skin cancers. It can help remove sun damage.
Mm-hmm.
And what I love is very customizable. So I can give you a light treatment, but I can also give you you need to stay home for 7 days and really recover.
Mm-hmm.
So I have that. I also find that people have some issues with like redness. I know I personally do, rosacea, scars, things like that. So I have a laser for that. And then I also have a radio frequency device for tightening. What I love about that is it's safe for all skin types and there's no downtime, unlike the CO2 laser that does have some downtime.
Right. So what's the one I've done like the BBL before, which feels like a rubber band snapping, and you kind of have to have cold packs on your face, but it takes away brown spots.
Yes.
I'm like due to do another one, but I did it like before my wedding back in San Francisco, and then I've done it once, maybe like 2 years ago. It was great.
Yeah,
it was painful, but it was totally worth it. And I go to Georgia Dermatology, and I feel like I've come to you before because I had a Mohs procedure on my chest.
Well, maybe.
And I think they were like, you were the top surgeon to do it. So.
Oh, well, then absolutely.
I know,
that
this
was
would
me.
have been like, I don't know, pre-COVID. I'm like flashing back in my
wow.
life. I know.
Oh, wow.
I'll have to go back into my
I'll have to go check
my health.
the EHR.
Exactly. But that's so you don't do any of the surgery down here. So if you did need any procedure, you would go to your other office. This is more, if we will, aesthetics. Is that a good way to
or
say
just
it?
like bread and butter dermatology,
just
right? So it's just me, right?
Skin,
like I am
the full thing, do the full body scan and all that business. Mm-hmm.
All ages, but it's just me. I have no staff.
Oh,
so
great.
So
we
it's
get you. It's
hard
fabulous.
to do surgery without assistance. So I just don't have the space either.
And for everyone, I'm chasing melanoma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's that sneaks up on too many people I know.
Oh, yeah.
And I've had plenty of,
Little things taken off. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's important. I mean, I go once a year, full scan. I think it's super important. I mean, a kid growing up in California on the beach.
That's right.
So, okay. So we sort of talked about Midtown a little bit. I mean, that was very close to Steve's heart. And it sounds like maybe you're going to spend the summer here. We're recording this in the spring of 2026.
Well, we just got our pool pass.
Okay,
so that's
great.
a huge first step, right? Because, we're not members anywhere in Midtown. So this will be a great opportunity. But
the kids
one of the things I love about Serenbe is my kids can run around. We come down here. I give them their green light cards. They get on their bikes and they just like tattoo the place and have fun. And I don't worry about where they are.
Yeah.
They could go to the pool. So I'm looking forward to letting them have some free time. They're going to sleepaway camp, but they said, Mom, don't put us in camps every week. We want to just be free is the word they use.
That's great. It's great.
So I'm hopeful they can be here. They can be free. They can kind of like my childhood was.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that was the big thing after we lived here for 6 months.
Yeah.
And so one night at dinner, and Garney was 10 years old. And I said, well, are you glad we came down? And I thought it was, yes, the pony, the bunnies. Yeah. And then she looked at her sister and said, the freedom. And I thought, I didn't realize in Ansley, we had a big yard. And she said, we knew you were always looking out the window and we could never ride our bicycles on the sidewalk without an adult. And here we're free.
Yeah.
The kids really feel it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. I think so much of that is driving, the parents to reevaluate, like, what do I want for my family? And I think it's great. So in that thread, connection to nature, I want to sort of tie it back to skin, is thinking about, all the things that we love down here. So talk about nature and outdoors and healthy eating. From your perspective, how do those things affect your skin? What do you recommend for people to do? Like, anything from like, I don't even know, the pollution in cities to drinking lots of water. I don't know. Tell us what some of the basics are to keep our skin healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you go see your dermatologist, you're not expecting them to sit down and tell you to like, talk about diet and stress and exercise and all that. But I have to remind people your skin's an organ. And we forget, we think our skin is just our face and that is just for aesthetics. But it's an entire organ system, like your cardiovascular system, your nervous system, all of that. So it does more. It's more than just your face and it's more than just what you put on it.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think we forget that. And again, in these like rushed visits and insurance-based practices, it's impossible to delve into stuff like that. But how you take care of your body is so critical to your skin. If you're drinking too much, you're smoking, you're tanning excessively, like this is all going to show up in your skin. And I'm not saying, you have to take it so extreme the other way and not enjoy life. But, I would say being in nature, lowering your cortisol levels, your stress levels, your skin is going to reflect that probably better than anything I could give you in the office.
Right.
And it's hard. It sounds simple, but it's actually hard in practice to do all those things, right? It's like, okay, that's great, but just tell me what cream to use, right?
I know. We just want an answer. We want to put it on and be done.
But yeah, so
I'll do the hard work, Steve.
A cream, a pill, give it to me.
I know, yeah. But seriously, and especially in this day and age, right? Like how busy we are all the time. And that's always a New Year's goal is like, slow down. It's so hard. So I think being in nature, spending time outdoors, right? Like people think I'm not anti-sun, right? You can be outdoors and not fry your skin. Exercise. Like these are all these things I really never did until I was about 40. And I realized I was 10 pounds overweight. I didn't feel good. I wasn't sleeping well. I was always tired. And I realized I was not doing any of these like habits that I should be doing. And I didn't like where it had gotten me. And I thought, I don't want this for the next 40 years. So I think a huge, hopefully a component of my practice is like talking about these things because they are so important. It's so much more than just what's the latest trend in skincare to help me. And really, I feel like I do the last like 10 to 15%. I can help you with that, but you got to do all the other stuff first.
Well, tell us a little bit about your routine or what you would sort of recommend that you just feel like these are the most important things.
So I talk about my mom a lot because she has beautiful skin, but she is so like simple with her routine, and it can be this simple. She washes her face, she uses a moisturizer, and she wears sunscreen. And I cannot convince her to do anything else, and that's just not for her. So if you want, you can be that simple,
right?
And that works great.
Does she have a good diet though?
She does. And so she's in the garden. She's out. Right. She's doing all those other things as well.
That's what I was going to say.
That we talk about, right? So I joke that I'm a little more extra, so I use a retinol, and I think that's great. And I use an antioxidant. But that's my skincare, right? So I think people in their heads are like, no, that can't be it.
Aren't there 10 steps? What are you doing before bed? Yeah.
Right. So I think if you talk to most dermatologists, their skincare is pretty basic, pretty simple. And usually what I'll say is, people, I get this question all the time. What do I need to do? Like, what do I need to do? I'm like, well, you have to figure out what are your skin needs. That's going to be different for everyone. Are you struggling with certain skin conditions? Are you, struggling with skin cancers? Do you have acne, rosacea, dry skin, oily skin, right? And then you have to pair it with your goals. So my mom's goal is like, keep it as simple as possible. But your goal may be, I want to, minimize visible signs of aging, or I want to whatever. And so you have to like pair it and make it right for you. Right. And also, I have had so many friends who have said, I'll never do aesthetics or this or that. And you're allowed to change your mind.
Never say never.
Right?
I always say, yeah.
And so that can change. It can be fluid. But yeah, what do you need to do? Well, really just look at what does your skin need and what are your goals, and then put that together.
Yeah. So you're doing some really interesting programming. So this is, I don't know if you use the word concierge, but it is a high-touch practice.
Right.
So tell me about some of the programs that you are sort of kicking off to sort of bring people in right now?
Yeah, well, I think nowadays the bar is so low in medical practices. Like,
no.
I mean, I actually, just before we started, I've been playing phone tag to try to get an appointment, and I have to wait through a phone tree for 10 minutes just to be told no one's available, right? And at least in my other office, I'll give a shout out to them. I mean, we answer the phone on the first ring with a real person. So at Bauckham and Mina, and that's not concierge, but here, it's not concierge in that there's like a membership fee or anything like that. But I do want I want it to be like the olden days, right? Like back where you actually saw your physician and it's the same physician each time. And it's not a revolving door of different people. And patients come first, and it's between you and your doctor and not like a middleman.
Right.
So if that's concierge, right? Like if that's revolutionary, then yeah, that's what I'm doing. But really, it's like bringing medicine back to where it's more fulfilling for me to practice. And I know it's more fulfilling as a patient to
Definitely.
get that. And it's not going to be for everyone. I know like some people, they really want to use their insurance and that's why they have it. And there are places for that as well. But I want to create something different and take care of my patients in a different way. So,
but we can come to you if we're not even using you for straight, like bread and butter dermatology.
Sure.
We can come for I don't know if the right words are the aesthetics.
Exactly.
But if we want to do anything, so that's totally separate anyway. And a lot of that isn't covered by insurance anyway.
Right. And that's the thing with dermatology. So it's so silly. Like it's like I can treat your acne, but I can't treat the scar, right? Like it'll cover this, but it won't cover that. Like it's so silly. So I don't even make a distinction because I think there's just so much overlap between things. And, like really, why do we have this sort of arbitrary, divide, right? Of what's covered, what's not. So here it's like, you can talk to me about any of these things.
Right. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So I love that we talked about sort of skin health and overall health because I find myself, if I've had too much to drink or, I'm stressed out or I'm not drinking enough water, I see it, and that's like even more so as we're aging. It's like the resiliency just isn't there in your 30s anymore. How do you think, we should be thinking about it from like you see a lot of like young people starting to use a lot of stuff really early on. And I really didn't start to do much until like really understand it. I mean, I did some like I would go get facials and stuff, but didn't really even think about all the like products until I started aging more. But where's your head on like, do kids need to start doing anything early? Like my son who's 19 is like super into all his skincare, which is crazy to me. I know. This is just a different generation.
It really is. I mean, my children are 11 and 12 and they're into it.
Yeah.
Okay. And like,
is it just social media they've loved it? Yeah. I don't know. They found it.
It must be.
Yeah.
And I remember being that age, and I still remember trying to make a natural face mask with avocado, and the avocado was not ripe. So it was like chunky and rock hard.
Trying to put it on your face.
And I put it on my face with lemon and like direct lemon juice, and it burned and salt. It was terrible, but I still remember, and I was probably about their age. So I do think it's this like curiosity, but especially in this day and age of social media and everything. And I kind of laugh, but it's sad. My son will like look at my skin and pick it apart. He'll tell me like I have so many pores, I have these lines, and he's not trying to be mean, but I think he doesn't know what real skin looks like.
Yeah,
because everything is so filtered.
It is.
Yeah, so I have to like remind him like this is normal. Pores are, so we have to. I mean, I feel for them because if their standards are, AI created and
right. Or even just the whole Korean skincare.
Yeah.
Like I know something just opened in LA and my niece who's going to be a freshman was so excited this Korean skincare, whatever place opened in Los Angeles. I was like, you don't need anything. You're beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, I want to tell them like, gosh, your collagen is at its like peak right now. So enjoy it. But yeah, kids do not need it. Adults don't need these elaborate routines. There's not like one magic cream out there that's going to solve all your problems, right? And again, I would say this is where talking to someone who is an expert in skin health, like a dermatologist who can, who doesn't have a discount code they're trying to push for their product. I think that's where you get the best information, and you don't have to spend a lot of money, right? And I think sometimes people think you got to spend a lot of money to get quality products and ingredients. And really, some of these procedures, yes, can cost money, but that's like I feel like a big bang for your buck versus spending, hundreds of dollars on a moisturizer.
Right.
So,
exactly. I know it is, but it's refreshing to hear that from you, because I think we are, messaged and sold all of these things all the time, that this is the answer. And it's like, okay, there's
believe me, if I had found it, I would be using it.
Right. You would be on you'd be sending a discount code out on Instagram. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, tell me, is your husband excited to come down for the summer too? Because sometimes there's a little bit of yin and yang between the couples, but is he excited for the kids?
Yeah. This is a family. Yeah. In fact, like they're here right now with the cats. They came down.
Love it.
He works from home, so he's more flexible. Perfect. So he always enjoys it. He was out hiking today. So it's of course like a family decision, and we own the building where the practice is. So I joke he's my landlord, and he's real strict on rent payment on time.
And so are you going to be living above the store this summer?
So we do keep one of the apartments for ourselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's even cooler, right?
Yeah, which is great.
So the office is located in Motto.
That's right.
And then you've got 2 units above. So you'll be staying in one and then running in the other. That's great.
And it's kind of like a party house when we're there, because it's like 1 bedroom and we all pile in. And
I love it.
It's fun.
That's great. But that's kind of it. We tell people, like, it's not really about being in the house. It's like your home is the trails and the coffee shops and the restaurants and the, you're really out and about so much. And that's really the fun of it. So as we wrap up, I really love to know, so if somebody was going to come for the first time and you were going to give them advice on what to do or what to see, what would you advise them to do at Serenbe?
Oh my gosh. There's so much. I where to begin? Like, I was even thinking today, like, okay, what am I doing this weekend? Right. I think just like walk around. And that's just the most fun. It's like explore, find cute little shops. I love the shops here so much. I can always find such cute things. I want to go to yoga tomorrow morning. Usually when I'm here on Saturday, I'm open. So tomorrow I want to go to yoga. But yeah, just like walk around, explore. People are usually incredibly friendly. You can chat with them, find out where they're from, what they're up to. I love just the variety of where people, you would think, oh, they're all from Atlanta. No, they're like all over, which is really cool. So yeah, just like exploring, walking around and seeing what you find.
I love it. Anything else that we missed that you want to give a shout out to or share with us?
Gosh, yeah. I mean, if you have skin and you have skin concerns, definitely come by. I'm open on Thursdays and some Saturdays during the month, and hopefully can expand that as the year goes on.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll put all the links in the show notes, and we're so thrilled to have met you, or maybe met you again.
I know, right? Well, HIPAA, I can't
come on down. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Inn at Serenbe is a luxury retreat tucked away in the rolling countryside just outside Atlanta and just minutes from Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. With over 1,000 acres to explore, you'll find preserved forests, a wildflower meadow, and over 15 miles of scenic hiking trails. Whether you're exploring the animal village, lounging by the pool, or enjoying a fresh farm-to-table meal, there's no shortage of ways to unwind at the Inn at Serenbe. Use code Serenbe Stories when you book online or over the phone and receive 10% off your next stay. The Inn at Serenbe offers endless ways to connect with nature and create unforgettable memories, so book today.